Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya
Hello, hello. It is Tuesday night, and here we are. It's the first day of spring, which is kind of blowing my mind a little bit because it's supposed to snow tonight here in Cincinnati, so it does not feel very spring-like. I want to say thank you to Alicia Mathewson as we open this space with her chant. If you are not familiar with the words, it means guide me from untruth into truth, lead me from darkness into light, and lead me from death into immortality. And those infinite truths are the foundation of our time here together. It was interesting when I show up for this space each week, my mind tends to get kind of wiped clean, and I'm never sure which direction we're going. And then as I'm chanting the words, I usually have just quick flashes of these ideas or stories or thoughts that may be relevant in our conversation. And what I was remembering is when I didn't grow up in church, but when we moved here to the States and I was in middle school, we went to a Baptist church, and they were very vocal and exuberant, in the services. And then we switched as a family over to a more non-denominational church that still had, a blend of music and preaching. And I joined the youth choir, and I loved the music part of it. And what I was remembering while I was sitting here chanting is that feeling when, and you can feel this at a concert also, this isn't church related, but that's an easy example for people to relate to. When you're sitting in church or when you're sitting at a concert and everyone is singing together, all the voices are expressing their individuality, but within this flow of the same words, the same tune, the same beat, the same vibration, the same love, or at least a match to the love that the person who is holding the space or on stage is holding for everyone. There's such a sacredness to it, satisfaction, all my senses are alive. And I believe this is why concerts and festivals are so popular, especially with younger generations. They can feel that unification happening where everyone comes together and we're all in the same flow and we're all one energy. And it's just incredible. It's an incredible sensation. There's a band that my daughter loves, and I hope I get the song and the name of the band right, but I think it's called 21 Pilots, and they have a song, it's like Lift the Car Up, and in this music, right before the song begins in the audio, the main singer is up on stage, and he's talking about everyone together, raise the energy, raise the vibration of the room, and lift it up. Imagine we could lift up a car together, just raise the energy in the space, and let's all focus on doing that together. And some of my favorite groups will say, put your cell phone away, be here, feel the energy of what's happening right here in this moment, because that collective gathering of all of those individual vibrations, it's incredible, it's powerful, it's palpable, and it sweeps you up with it, and you feel better for the experience. Coldplay is a master at this from all the images I've ever seen. I haven't been to one of their shows yet, but you can feel so many people, you too. We saw Imagine Dragons, so many people, they just get swept up in this beautiful display of energy and love and movement, as it's going through. And I was reflecting on that when I was chanting, how that was my favorite part of gatherings, of going to church. It was this, sorry, I've got a message popping up. It was this all of us are equal in that moment. We all have equal value, equal love, equal energy, and what we contribute to that collective experience makes the whole event better. And no one has more emphasis than anybody else, maybe the piano player or the person who's on stage guiding the group, but everyone's engaged in that. And I believe that is why music is such a powerful bridge for me in my own healing, and then in the ways that I use it in healing with the work that I do with clients. it's a way to connect with somebody and touch like truth and love and unity in a very profound way. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I was thinking about that, and what I have been really sitting with over the past few days, over the past week, is this shift. You know, we're in Pisces, and well, we're wrapping up Pisces. Pisces is the collective consciousness, the group momentum, all of us together. What are we dreaming about and creating as a field of humans on this planet? And then also, like, what is our individual role within that whole gathering of all of those humans? What do we do? What do we bring? What do we contribute? And what feels true to me is that because the collective energy is always changing, our individual ways that we show up or play or bring our gifts are going to be changing too. So, for example, you know, in high school, let's use that as an example. In high school, I would tell you I knew exactly what my individual role was going to be. I was going to be a hotel manager. I was going to travel the world. This is the way that I was going to show up. And the collective consciousness at that time was very much about business and making money and being profitable. And so that's what I was studying. And so I had this really clear way of seeing what my value was in the collective consciousness at that time. It totally fit. It worked. And for where I was in my individual journey, I could align with that plan. And now here we are, where the collective consciousness is moving into this age of Aquarius, of harmony and the world breaking down barriers and coming together, and the focus being on service. What can you bring? What can you contribute? How can you leave the world better? Not how can you leave the business better? Or how can you leave the stakeholders, the shareholders better? It's how can you leave our planet? How can you up-level humanity's awareness and love and support for each other? What's your impact as an individual in that collective space? And that's a totally different field of energy than, oh my God, 30 years ago? A long time ago when I was in college. 89, 90, it's been a while. And also, like, that's the point. The point is that consciousness is always expanding, is constantly shifting and moving. You know, what every individual is bringing and moving through themselves, expanding within themselves, changes the collective. There's more humans on this planet now. There's more knowledge on this planet, more creations, more inventions, more solutions. And so that energy field is bigger, and there's more room for the individual to be bigger, play differently, show up differently. So here we are in Pisces. And I thought I had a pretty good grip on what my individual role looks like within the collective energy field. And then things changed again. The collective is different. And so my value is different within the bigger group. And I get to explore that. And I get to be curious about, what else do I know about myself? How else can I be of service? What else can I do that is going to make an impact in my local community and my family and the world at large? Like, what in me is ready to also expand as the collective field is expanding? And so just when we think we've done a lot of work, we realize, yeah, more to do. There's more to do, more to explore. So for me, the examples I've been using lately have been work, because for many reasons. One is my work is called my soul journey. And so literally everything I do relates back to my work. And the way that I show up in all of my relationships and activities are part of my soul journey. So everything connects back to my work. And my work is to live my truth, to be an example of living my truth, and to love and to guide through the lessons that I learn myself. So when I share my work examples with you in these videos, it's an opportunity for you to see okay, Viv's talking about work. Where's the match for me? Is it my body? Is it my health? Is it my primary relationship? Is it my relationship with my children? Is it my relationship with the world in general? Is it money? Is it time? Is it my creative flow? What I'm bringing as tangible gifts to the world? You'll know what your match is. And so as I ramble about how it applies to work, you can apply how it fits into your life. And then my hope, my intention is that through my stories, you find new perspective, different insight into your own stories. And then there's value, right? My journey has value in how it informs you in your journey. And then what you learn in yours, you share with others. And so we keep expanding this collective consciousness, but we do it through the individual first. So for me, I have these events once a month called New Moon Circles, and I thought they were doing pretty well. Like, I could feel the intention behind them and the value that they were bringing. And then this weekend, we had one on Friday. I was like, nope, the value isn't what it needs to be. It could be totally different. It could be more. This isn't working. This is not working. And that's how quickly it shifts. It's like one day you think it's fine, it's great, and then nope, start over, redo. And so then you sit with it, well, let me talk about myself. So then I sit with it. I talk to a couple friends and I ask, like, what do you think? And how would it look if we change it this way? And then I sit with myself in meditation and I feel, right? I feel where is it not feeling good? So I could tell, like, it feels kind of heavy. The workload and the preparation and the event part of it is too heavy, and that's not where I want my time to be. Is taking care. Sounds terrible. I don't want to be taking care of everybody all the time. I want to empower people. I want to empower people to be their best selves. And so my value is in like this: the work, the heart exchange, not the work, the conversations, and the seeing, like when I'm with people live and on the phone, I can see them energetically. I can see and sense through my third eye, through my heart, through my knowing what is out of alignment and what ways they could step back into greater harmony with their soul. It's what I do. It's how I function. It's how I function my whole life. And so I've tried to, put that to the side sometimes, because sometimes it makes people very uncomfortable. and I've learned to not always say it, because sometimes people don't really want to hear what their highest version of their soul could be. They'd rather stay here and just, kind of hum, do what's familiar. And then also, like, I've covered it up by taking care of people. Let me nurture you. Let me nourish you. Let me make sure you have everything you need. And so if you have everything you need, you'll be happy. You'll feel good. And really, like, that's just a cover for doing that deeper work, for connecting deeper into yourself. And so when I was sitting with this Monday, today's Tuesday, like Sunday, Monday, it kept coming up in my meditation. I'm like, oh my God, can we stop thinking about the new moon circle? Like, why is this such a thing? And yet it wouldn't go away. It kept coming up. And this morning, I had an idea of what I wanted to shift to. And this morning in my meditation, all the pieces just went like this. It's like, yes, you're going to put this and you're going to do that. And you're going to shift it. And you're going to create this link and that PDF and this, done. Make a video and get it out. And literally, like, I wrote it all down when I was getting myself ready for the day. And I worked through the list, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's almost complete. Like, the changes are made, the structure is set up, and now we're going to try it. We're going to see, like, as I show up more in my gifts, in conversations with people and support as we set our intentions on the new moon, then let's see what happens. Will people feel even more nourished or nurtured or supported when they receive a deeper offering of my gifts? When my individual self is really expressing at a more powerful level, a more truth-based level, a soul, like a deeper version of my soul is connecting with a deeper version of the other individual's soul. And so let me see how to say that. When I show up, I'll just talk about myself. When I show up more at a surface level, then, which I hardly ever do because it's so boring. I don't like surface. I like going deep. But when I show up more at a surface level, then the person can only meet me at the place in which I want to exchange. So they're going to meet me at the surface level, and it's nice. It's good. But it doesn't feel the same. Like when I connect with someone and find your own matches to this story I'm sharing. But when I'm sitting with someone and I am so present and I am hearing what is being said, and I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling the matches, and then I'm tuning in, like what would serve this individual? Not from me, Viv, the mind that is sitting here trying to go through a checklist, not that. Like from the heart, like what do I know or understand about their journey that has some match or some resonance with my journey? And so I can bring this wisdom forward to them. I can share this heart-based solution or offering, and they can accept it or not accept it. You know, it's always everyone's choice what you do with the support that's offered to you. But the deeper connection allows, first of all, for that individual to be heard and to feel heard and to feel seen and loved and respected, because everyone is where they are in their journey, in whatever growth they're going through, because that's what their soul wants for them. So there's no judgment over someone's at this place or someone's at this place and we're, you know, further along or better than any other soul. We're all exactly where we're supposed to be and doing this incredibly crazy physical human experience. And so when I show up deeper, when I show up more present in my gifts, and I can be with someone and then they can feel that receiving of my awareness and of their awareness, you know, we can have a whole different conversation. And then that person is empowered to realize that possibility to be present and to take that into their relationships. And so it's kind of like the whole collective consciousness can like ground and strengthen and connect, instead of being up here trying to connect from, you know, the mind and the busyness and the out of my body. When we're in my whole body's like when we're in the body and we're feeling this heart-based connection with another individual, we can anchor in the collective consciousness in a whole different way. And that's exciting. It's fun. So that's the shift that I'm making in my new moon circles. And we'll see how it goes. But it feels, I made a little video earlier about it and I put it on the website. And I'm wearing the same shirt, by the way. It's called Being Efficient. But I said that in the video, like, we'll see where it goes. It's going to be more fun. It feels great to me. I don't have to cook and I don't have to clean, and it's going to be super easy. You know, I get to show up and be myself and focus on what I'm best at. So yeah, so I was sitting with the new moon stuff all over the weekend, and then I had a friend here for the weekend for a retreat for my soul weekend, and I was feeling into like, how do I improve that process? How do I do a better job of, like, you know, the flow of the process? And I feel like I'm already very good at being present and feeling what the individual needs, but is there a way to even, you know, anchor the experience in more solidly, allow for more expansion? Like, are there ways I can make it even more powerful or meaningful? And I feel like everyone is working on that. You know, we're constantly improving our own quality, our own, like reviewing ourselves. I hope. I do it to myself all the time. I know many people I talk to. We're constantly evaluating and reviewing how we're showing up for things and if there are ways to improve them. And so I was sitting with that also, like, okay, what are the weekend retreats? How do those get better? And the new moon circles, how do they get better? And it's being called from me, through me, because I feel like the collective consciousness is being called into higher levels of service, more awareness, more forgiveness, more compassion and understanding of others, of the, how do I say that? There's an up-leveling that is happening, and it's happening at a universal level. It's also happening at the individual level. And sometimes it feels like that collective vibration is jumping higher than our individual ability to meet it. And then sometimes it feels like our individual ability is so far beyond the collective ridiculous victim consciousness. And so we can kind of bounce back and forth between the two, right? Like, I'm judging the collective. I'm not good enough for the collective. And it's a little manic at times when manic is the wrong word. It can be a little tiring at times. Like, why can't it all just be simple and streamlined and easy? But there is that powerful of a shift happening within humanity on our planet. It is that powerful. The individual is going to be swept up, just like I was describing at a concert. I remember, who was I listening to? I can't remember who I was listening to, but I remember the speaker saying, you know what, it might have been Alicia that was describing the story. But I remember specifically some artist or speaker was saying, I know that I have done my job when the guy in the back of the room who's got his arms crossed and, he's not going to participate is like, oh, it's Ganesha. That's who it was. He said, that guy in the back who got dragged along by his wife and he doesn't want to be here and, he's not going to participate. And then he's jamming and he's singing, he's clapping his hands. Guru Ganesha Singh said that last year, I remember. He said, that's when I know I've won. Like, I have done my job. Because the guy who refused to engage is being swept up into the feeling, the energy, the mood, the vibration of the group. And finding joy in that experience. Not being swept up and, wounded or invalidated, but swept up with love. And I feel that at a collective level, the individuals are, like it or not, being swept into the deeper conversations, the lifting of the veil, the pulling back of the crap, of the stories, of the lies, all of that is moving love and compassion and forgiveness through individuals. And sometimes we do that kicking or screaming. We don't want to change. We don't want to let go of where we believe we've been hurt. And we don't want to let go of the fact that other people have screwed us over. We don't want to believe that everyone's going to get along one day. What kind of world is that going to be? And so there's this, sometimes we're so ridiculous. Like, the things that we hold on to are so ridiculous. It's like when, oh God, I don't want to get the giggles. It's like when you're in the middle of an argument with someone and then you're being stupid. Like your willingness, your determination to hold on and not give in will make you say the most ridiculous things. And you're like, you just sound like a fool. And I should speak for myself. I have been in many debates, most particularly with my children, where I have hung on to the fact that I am mom and I am right and they are wrong. And literally, like, it's so dumb. It's so stupid. And the fact that I can't give in is so childish myself. And yet, there's just no way I'm going to give in. We do that. We do that as grown-ups. And sorry. Oh yeah, energy's moving when I'm laughing. Like, it's good. We're clearing together here, people. Hang in there. Okay. When we hold on to those really crazy, ridiculous arguments and and we insist that we are right and that we know better, what we're going to find in this journey, in this new vibration of the collective humanity, is that we're going to really be tested about our beliefs of those things. And the more rigidly we hold on to them, the more we're going to feel like we're this pole in the middle of the ocean that's just trying to stay grounded. And the ocean is going to be like moving us in all these directions to see, like, do you really believe that? How long are you going to hold on to that? Right? And it's okay to be tested that way if what you're being tested on is your truth. But if what we're being tested on is just old story, limited thinking, the baggage that we were always told we had to believe, you know, if our individual definition is old and outdated and not harmonizing with this new collective energetic field, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough ride to hold on so rigidly and not budge. And it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be exhausting for the body and for the mind and for the spirit. So when we feel, I'll speak for myself, when I feel that it's a little out of alignment, something's shifted, something's off, not quite sure what that is, but I don't have that sense of peace or steadiness in this moment. Something needs to be looked at. When I feel that, and then I pause and I go in and I sit in meditation, or a lot happens while we sleep now. You know, when we rest well, when our body is nourished and there's plenty of water and food and we feel safe, and then we sleep, so much of that healing can happen at a subconscious soul level while your physical body is resting. So I set the intention when I go to bed at night, like, wash me clean. You know, I have a recording I listen to. It's 8 hours of ocean music. I made a 30-minute track when I was in Costa Rica with my daughter a year ago almost, and I looped that 30 minutes into an 8-hour track, and I have it on my YouTube channel. It's called Momsie's Lullaby, and Momsie is the name that we gave, or my grandmother gave herself when I was little. And so it's a grandmother's lullaby. It's the ocean, and the ocean is made of salt water, and salt is a cleansing agent. It washes energy away that is toxic. And so at night, I just put on that recording, turn my phone upside down, and I go to sleep. And I set the intention, like, realign me, you know, for my soul and source and angels and guides, like, realign my energy and allow me to be in harmony with myself, to be the highest expression of my soul here in this physical form. Heal me while I sleep and let me show up in the morning ready to go again, re-energized, refocused, in purest alignment with who I came here to be. And so I notice right away when something isn't swinging, singing, zinging, when something isn't feeling in flow. I notice, and then I tune in and I just sort of sit with it and mull over it and, you know, reflect with other people and feel into it and journal about it and go for walks in nature with my dog where he pulls me because I can't seem to manage him. But we go outside and we feel nature, and I receive sunlight, and those individual knowings, awarenesses can land again. And they often land back in ways or places that they weren't before. You know, because the collective consciousness is shifting and I am shifting. And so there's this movement between the two. The reason I'm sharing all of this is not only to validate, like, as an individual soul in a human body, we're constantly expanding and growing and moving and adjusting and, you know, looking at the ways that we can be in greater alignment. But it's also to say, right here at this time, on our planet, this is the time to show up as the best individual version of your soul that you can be. If the collective consciousness is constantly shifting and we're showing up halfway, sort of, we're here, we're doing it. That's the vibration, the energy we're putting into the collective field. And so those who have more impact, more energy, more ferocity, more deeper truth are going to start shifting the collective consciousness from their vibrational field. And so maybe we'll go this way, where if we'd all showed up, we could have gone this way. Or maybe if more healers, light workers, individuals who are in integrity, strong, deep integrity, souls in human bodies here to do big healing work, if we show up in mass numbers, and there's some that are over here, doing their thing and blah, 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 not in their truth, and not taking the time to really check, like, are they connected to their soul's truth? Are they expressing their highest version of themselves? Or are they just like the attention? When these light workers, healers rise up in larger numbers and we're making momentum, perhaps we move this way. We move to the left, to the feminine, to the being, instead of to the doing. And so there's this balance that can be brought back into humanity because we're all showing up in our deepest, most powerful truth, which is love, not fear. Fear over here on the right, the old masculine ways of doing things. And I don't mean masculine like guys are bad. I mean masculine like the energy of masculine, busy, doing, activity, forcing, effort. That's the old way. The new way is intuition, flow, alignment, harmony, unifying. It's this being into creation versus forcing. So I'm saying again, and I'll say it again and again and again, let's rise up into the highest vibration that our soul is here to be. I use the words in my meditation time. I'll ask Source, God, my guides, my soul. I'll say, align me with the highest manifestation of my soul's blueprint in this lifetime. The highest manifestation of that. Because I know when I was a soul deciding to come down into this human body, there were lots of options, lots of paths I could have taken, lots of choices I could have made. And let's align over and over and over again with the highest vibrational level I could achieve in this life. The greatest overflow, pouring forth of my soul's gifts. Because our souls are so much wiser than the limited human mind and human body and human creations. The soul is infinitely more incredible than that. So if we align with the infinite soul that has lived and played and danced and been a part of the old collective that can bring all of that knowledge forward, and they go, don't do it that way. That way, we've done that. And that was slow. It was tedious. It didn't work. Try this way. Try come from love. Try come from flow. Try come from presence. Show up and be present. Speak your truth and then see what magic comes from that. So, yeah, let's be more. Let's have the individuals as we tune into what we know, what we believe, what we're here to share. Let's express that and then watch the collective consciousness shift. And then because it's going to shift, we're going to have to change again. We're going to have to do more work. We're going to have to sit with whatever creations we've brought forward and go, can I do better? Is there more? Can I create a new way of playing and seeing and being? And also, that's the joy, the thrill of being a soul in a human body, is here in this physical form. We get to try it all out. We get to create, and if we like it, great. If we don't, Okay, try another one. Get up and do something else. You know, there's no limit to the creative energy that is available and that can flow through us. And so let's play in these bigger ways. The last little nugget that I was feeling when I was listening to the chant at the beginning, the song, and I was picturing, here we are in, for example, a church, and there's this time where all of the voices are singing together, and so the preacher kind of takes a back seat a little bit, or the other players in the church take a back seat, and the collective voice is where all the healing and love and play exists. I was just seeing that at a soul to human level. When we can tap into the collective consciousness that started when the very first breath or light or spark of existence began, and then how that collective consciousness has gone through every planet, all of the years of humanity's existence, all of the years of Earth's existence, the collective consciousness has just been, it's gone from like this little thing to like collective consciousness just keeps expanding. It's like huge. It's huge. And so here we are in this human journey, and we think we're so all-knowing, and we're this time, this life, this planet, right? It's just this little tiny ball in this huge field. And yet we think we know so much, and we're doing so much, and we're so powerful. What I was picturing is we're the ones actually having the physical human experience because we're here. Everyone on this planet, 7 billion people, we are having human journeys. And yet all of those beings, I wanted to say those voices, but that's not quite true. All of those energies, those beings, all of that consciousness that has ever existed before now wants to come in and support and sing around the energy of our tiny little human experience. And so it's like a flow, I don't know if I'm saying this very well. When I was describing how the individual and the collective, sometimes the individual feels like the collective is amazing and we are nothing. And then other times we feel like the collective knows nothing and we are the ones who know. It's the same for our little planet and our human experience, and then all of consciousness that's around our planet. Sometimes we can hear, feel, sense that collective energy. We're like, yes, we're doing great. Everything's great. Everything's great. We're all in alignment. The little tiny earth is doing great, and all of humanity, or all of consciousness around it is doing great. We're all in alignment. And then other times it's like this little planet, whoa, what's happening? What are we doing, right? Where are we screwing up? And so there's an ebb and a flow of that larger vibration and then our individual vibration. Yeah, it's hard to put words to it. There's a song that I'm going to play by Alicia next that's called Namah Shivaya. And I've always loved the chant and the sound of it. And I looked up the meaning again, even though I think I've looked it up 10 times. I keep forgetting what it means. And so I'll tell you the words, and maybe that'll explain what I'm trying to describe here. The lyrics, the chant means, I bow to Shiva, which is I believe a Hindu goddess. But Shiva represents the inner self. The inner self. The consciousness that dwells in every individual, every human, every being, all. There is a spark of that collective inside each of us individually. And so sometimes when we don't feel like we're really clear on what's our individual gift or our individual role or what we bring to the collective, when we can go deep inside and we can touch that consciousness that sits inside of us that unites every one of us. Sometimes that's all we need. We just need that reminder. Every single one of us is interrelated to the other. And as we touch that and then strengthen that within ourselves and express our individual soul that comes from collective consciousness, when we express that, we bring our best selves into the collective, and then the collective raises, which then comes back into us, and our original spark is more and bigger. And so it's this constant flow. Our individual work serves all, and the work of all serves our individual growth. So let's rise up. Let's be better. Be more. Be more. So Namah Shivaya. It is a beautiful chant, a beautiful way to end this space. Give me a moment and I will switch over here. All right. Thank you, Alicia.
Nam
one little addition. So I remember when Alicia was here for the concert that we had in November, we were sitting around the living room, and she was leading the chant, and we were following what she was leading. But I was singing along with her because I knew the song so well, and I was so excited to have her there. And I don't care if my voice doesn't sound good. I just sing because I love to sing. And there was a part where her voice backed away, and I could feel, because she was backing away, I should back away. And she said, no, this is when you come in even more powerfully and with your strength. When I back down, it's not to have you back down, it's to have you come forward and be more, be even more in your gift of sharing your love. It's a different version of harmony, right? I give you space so that you can be more. And that's what I'm feeling with the little tiny planet and our humanity, and then this collective consciousness of all beings, all energies, all creations, since the beginning of the very first spark of life. There's a way that we as humanity, humans, are being offered the opportunity to come be more, step into your power. And all these other beings have kind of stepped back, like, we're right here. We're creating more room. We're giving you more space. Step in, step up, be love, create the physical expressions of love that we in the non-physical can't create in the ways that you can. So take up more space, be bigger, be bolder, be more. What an incredible gift to be offered this opportunity as souls to expand the collective consciousness of all creations ever here in these little human journeys. What a gift. So let's do it, right? Let's be more. Be more. So much love from my heart to yours.